My name is David John Walter Walsh, if you want to go for the full name. So, as you know my name, so we're off to a great start already. I was born and raised in Toronto, Ontario, best place in the world. I have a funny story about that actually, because one time me and my family went to a family wedding in Golden, BC. It was great. It was my cousins getting married, and we're all kind of from Toronto. The cousin was announcing, all the guests that had come from different places, and then he announced us from Toronto, and we were booed. We were booed in at the wedding. So, I love Toronto, but I don't know. Yeah, I've lived here my whole life. I haven't really gone anywhere else. I am now in my second year of opera performance at U of T, which is going swellingly. This year is super exciting, already off to a crazy great start, but it's really scary. We're here for it. We're gonna make it good. We're gonna make it great. So I was introduced to the Peterborough Singers because I was in a course at U of T during my undergrad, because I did that there too. And basically what happened is the professor knew Sid, who is the director of the Peterborough Singers, and they chit-chatted, and basically what happened is a bunch of students from U of T came to Peterborough to sing all the different solos in the Handel's Messiah, and I was lucky enough to sing Comfort Ye in Every Valley.
Every valley, every valley shall be exalted, shall be exalted.
Which opens the Messiah, of course, and also one of my favorite arias to sing. It's just, who doesn't love Handel, especially the Messiah? But basically, we did that. It was such a fun trip. First of all, Peterborough was great. I hadn't really ever been since I was little, and it was so nice to revisit old memories and also see the beautiful place. It is gorgeous. Their downtown is so nice. I remember this was pre-COVID times. Me and a few of the other singers had all carpooled up together, and we went to this nice little cafe, had these great sandwiches and coffees before we went to the church to rehearse. And then there we were met with such hospitality. Oh my gosh, everyone in that choir is so wonderful and so nice. They had a whole dinner laid out for us when we got there after we'd practiced, and it was just amazing. Like, it was such a wonderful experience. Well, it was such a wonderful experience that I actually have felt something inside of me that I just wanted to be back there, And so I went up to Sid after the performance, and I told him, I was like, hey, Sid, if you ever need a soloist for any more things, just, give me a call. And I guess it worked, because I was lucky enough to hear from him later on, and he asked me to be the tenor soloist for the Messiah for the next year, 2020. Alas, that was sadly canceled because of the pandemic that we are still in. I was so lucky and so wonderful. It was so wonderful to be asked back this year in 2021 to do the Messiah with the Peterborough Singers again, with some amazing soloists. And I just can't wait to go back to Peterborough. Fun tidbit also, Peterborough has some of the best water I've tasted in Canada. So if you like your water, Peterborough's the place to be. Well, I feel like as a musician, we just kind of gotta do a lot of different things. But as I already said, I'm in my second year of U of T opera, which is going amazingly. We're doing this year Rossini's Barber of Seville, which is already off to a great start. It's so exciting to be doing such a big work. First of all, it's so well known. I just can't wait. I'm gonna be playing the role of Count Almaviva. I've always loved all the music that he's sung, and I'm just so excited that I get to do this role at this time in my life, and learn it and have it in my belt pack, I'm really excited. It's gonna be really fun. But other than opera, I also love my choirs. I also work with a few choirs around the city, Viva Youth Singers being one of them. And they're actually the choir that got me really into the music field, you know. I started working with Viva in grade 12, my last year of high school, because I was looking for being completely honest here, I was looking for anything to get those 40 hours of volunteering that I needed to get to finish my high school career. It ended up being a blessing in disguise because I really found so many amazing people in that choir who are now some of my closest friends. And it showed me the importance of music in this world, you know, and the importance of choir in this world especially. I also sing with the Orpheus Choir of Toronto. I started with them last year as a Sidgwick scholar, which was, it's definitely interesting to start a choir during a pandemic. Not per se exactly what it's always supposed to be like, but it was definitely an experience. And now we are rehearsing in person, and it is actually so amazing to finally be meeting all these people in person. We're obviously singing with masks on and whatnot to be extremely safe. It's so great just to be singing in person, you know? And then I also sing at a church choir, Islington United Church, which I love so much. My voice teacher, Peter Barnes, who is the best, he introduced me to that choir because he's sung there for a very long time. It's his church, his choir. He loves it, and now I love it. I am so happy to be the tenor soloist at that choir. It's just such a wonderful place to make music, and everyone is so accepting. Again, who doesn't love the community that comes with choir, right? It's just so nice. I love it. I love it all. Being a musician in the pandemic was not the best, to say the least, but you know, I like to be a very optimistic person. I like to try and see the best in everything. So I actually started my time at U of T Opera during the pandemic, which was interesting, but you know, if I wouldn't have been doing anything else, so I would much rather be doing that than nothing, because there was a whole lot of nothing going on during the pandemic. I was very lucky to be a part of the program during such a challenging time, because it was nice to have that community and all of those people to kind of lean on, because we knew we were all in the same boat, right? And so we did lots of different projects. We did kind of a opera scenes project at the beginning of the year. Then there's always a student composed opera around the new year, and that was a very interesting project because it was done all virtually. Basically everyone, because well, when we were doing that, it was the peak of the pandemic, so we couldn't really have people in the same room. That was a virtually done project, which was super, super cool. And then at the end of the year, we did miniature operas, which just because we could only have a certain amount of people in a room. That was super interesting because we actually got to work with professional filming companies, which I don't think I probably would have worked with if it hadn't been a pandemic. So, you know, as I said, I'm optimistic. I like to see the shining light at the end of the tunnel and everything. So it was definitely an interesting experience being a musician during the pandemic. Well, and of course for choirs, as many people in the Peterborough Singers know, choir was very different during the pandemic. Singing on Zoom is not the same, but you know, all of my choirs made it work, and now we're back in person, and it's just, we got through it. So we're here, we made it, and I'm just happy with where we are right now, personally. Well, as many of us know, during the pandemic, we all had a lot of spare time. I definitely know what I did in my spare time. I have always loved to bike. Biking has been a part of my life literally since I can remember. We did not have a car until I was 16 and could start learning how to drive, because my parents would just put us in the bike cart and take us everywhere until we were old enough to ride on our own bikes. And then we were riding on our own bikes everywhere. My current bike, his name is Jacques, because yes, I name all my bikes. Sadly, most of them have either broken or gotten stolen because the city of Toronto is a dangerous place for bikes. Especially during the pandemic, I got more into biking, because what else were we doing? It was great to be able just to like get outside and go around. I loved it so much. I am also absolutely in love with food. I was in love with food before the pandemic, and I became even more in love with it during. Cooked a lot. A lot of different things during the pandemic, but surprisingly, not focaccia, which I know everyone did, and I couldn't because everyone was doing it, and I couldn't buy yeast at the grocery store because there was no yeast. Anyways, that was fun. I made lots of different dishes over the pandemic. Me and my boyfriend were quarantining together, so hi Crow. We made lots of different dishes, and he loved them all. He's not a big cook himself, so he was introduced to lots of different things, and I think he loved it, which is great. So I hope you enjoyed getting to know me a little bit. Hopefully we'll be able to see you in person for the performance of Handel's Messiah with the Peterborough Singers on December 13th.